Welcome to another video, and welcome to a new format of video. So we've had some new equipment installed into the lab, so going forward you'll be able to see more of me and more of the lab itself. As you can see, we're starting to make some progress on the walls, and we're going to get some things up there that people can actually have a look at and see what kind of things we do. I've wanted to do this video for a while now, and I thought with the new format, why not have a new direction? And I wanted to look at cheap eBay gaming PCs. Now, if you're familiar with any forums or social media groups around PC gaming, you'll have seen a lot of people coming into those groups and posting specifications that they find online and asking if these PCs are any good. Now, a lot of those PCs, and particularly ones that get sent to me through recommendations, are PCs that people find on eBay. Now, these machines are usually listed as new, although a lot of the parts aren't, and after a bit of investigation, I found that there's a lot of people doing it, and they're selling these machines with quite a lot of stock, so they are obviously doing it for profit. These are not machines that people are selling that are old or second-hand and that have no use anymore. And I decided to have a look at some of the specifications and see what you're actually going to be getting for your money. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at what you can actually get for different price ranges and see if we can actually build something and see if it's any good to those specifications. So stick around and see what we've done. Now, like I said before, after the investigations that we did, we found that there are a multiple range of PCs that are available on eBay. Now, a lot of them are listed as gaming PCs, and they're quite low priced, starting from around £150, which are your typical old office PC that somebody stuck a graphics card in, to around £300, which is about the average for a machine that would come in a new case and have a different type of graphics card, something a little bit more unique. Now, I did go out and grab some parts from eBay myself, which is probably what they're doing anyway, and they're all on buy now prices, so you can do the same. It's not like I got any magic low cost end of auction cheap things. And I thought I'd try and match up some of these about £170 spec machines. So I managed to get a case, and what we're going to be doing is using this case here. It's an IONZ KZ18 that we paid £20 for and did a review for before. I also managed to get this motherboard, which came with a processor and 4GB of memory. Now this was equivalent to one of the lower end specs, so it was an i3-2120, 4GB of RAM, and that wasn't that costly at all. It did come with onboard graphics. Also managed to pick up a hard drive. So this is just a 320GB Western Digital standard mechanical hard drive, which was about £2 or £3. It wasn't that expensive. It's second hand, obviously. A PSU, which is this one, which is a Corsair CX430, which is more than enough to run the system. And I decided to put it together. Now, putting it together on the test bench, I quickly realised that it's not very good. It's not going to play any games. I barely managed to get Windows installed on it. So I thought I'm going to have to give this machine a bit of a chance, and I scrapped the hard drive and decided instead to target one of the £300 machines, which generally come with an i5 processor, sometimes with an SSD, sometimes not, and around 8GB RAM. So I managed to get some upgrades. So I picked up 8GB of Corsair RAM, which wasn't that expensive. I picked up a new i5 processor, which I believe is the 2320, which I've already installed into the board. I picked up a brand new SSD, which is a 240GB Western Digital, so that is brand new, and actually gives the machine some chance. I picked up another fan, a case fan for the system. And I managed to pick up a graphics card, which was very cheap, which is a Geforce 5500 Ti. Now, it's not the greatest graphics card, but when you're working on this kind of budget, you haven't really got a lot of choice. And to be honest, a lot of these £300 machines, they are putting in GT710 cards, which this one will actually outperform. So it's not going to be exactly like for like, but we're going to be able to see what it could do as close as we can, obviously using the same power supply. One of the things that I did find with this board is this is actually out of a Fujitsu pre-build, which is what a lot of what you are buying, and we didn't get an IO shield, so you don't need one, they're not that important. but I did manage to 3D print myself one anyway. So we do have something to go into that system. So what we'll do is we'll put this system together, probably using a montage, and we'll do some testing on it. And we're back, and the machine is fully working. Managed to build it perfectly fine. There was a bit of an issue with the cable management, but we managed to sort it out in the end. It's a pretty quiet machine and it's working perfectly fine for what we've got. I've installed Windows and I've installed a couple of apps to be able to monitor the performance. Now I'm going to have to use this Apple monitor that I've got because it's DVI. Unfortunately, the machine is only DVI because the 55 Ti only supports DVI, and it won't work for my HDMI capture card. So we'll run it on the screen and we'll see what it can actually do. The game that I'm going to be testing it with is Crysis, purely because they say, but can it run Crysis? And we'll see if it actually can. It's actually loaded the game up, but we'll double check the settings and we'll see what we've got. So under system settings, we're currently running it in 1080p. Vertical sync is turned off and it's full screen. Under the advanced, everything is medium apart from object quality. This is just one of the presets that it actually gave it. And if we load up a game, we'll have a look using Afterburner in the corner to see what FPS we actually get. So straight out of the box we can see that we're getting around 51 frames per second. That's with a maximum 57 and a minimum of 23, and the average is around 53 at the moment. We'll get into some light though and we'll see what it can actually do. So the game's actually running pretty smoothly. Now, we're not getting an exact 60 frames per second, but we are in 1080p. If we were to lower this down to 720, it would quite easily get 60 frames per second. But I'm actually quite impressed with what kind of machine we've got here. It's running a game, it's running Crysis, which of all games is one of the things that we should be proud of. Is it a system worth building or buying? At the £300 range from the eBay listings, probably not. But there is a bonus to this. We didn't actually pay £300 for this machine. All in all, the total cost, with the fact that we bought the i3 and the 4 gig of memory in the board to begin with, and then we upgraded it to an i5 with 8 gig, the total cost of this machine was actually £120. So that actually gives you a lot of leeway to be able to upgrade the graphics card. If we look at this running now, the graphics card, the 550 Ti, is actually running at 100%, but the processor is actually running quite down into the 30s. So the processor has more area to go over, but the graphics card's pretty much seeing what it can see. So upgrade path for one of these, you've probably got quite a lot that you can actually go for. If you would upgrade to something like a 1050 Ti, you're going to see a much better performance. And with the budget difference of building your own, you're actually going to have the money to be able to do that. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and we'll see about doing more similar going forward. If you like this one in particular, make sure that you give me a like so that I know to do more videos like this, and I'll see you again next time.